In his speech to Congress, U.S. President Donald Trump made only brief references to Israel and the Middle East in his latest address, despite high expectations the ongoing conflict would be mentioned more. ILTV's Mayan Hoffman is standing by in Jerusalem with the story. Mayan?
Shosh, here in Jerusalem, just a stone's throw away from the U.S. Embassy, the embassy that U.S. President Donald Trump moved in his first term from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. I watched the televised address last night, the address that Trump delivered to a joint session of Congress. And despite much anticipation here in Israel by leaders and laymen alike, there were very few references to the Jewish state or even the broader Middle East.
In the Middle East, we're bringing back our hostages from Gaza.
Several released hostages and the families of freed captives were in the audience during his address. Yet, as you heard in the opening soundbite, Trump only briefly mentioned them during his more than 90-minute speech. While he gave personal shout-outs to a handful of individuals, none of the former hostages, including U.S. Israeli citizen Keith Siegel, received such recognition. Trump did highlight his role in achieving the Abraham Accords.
In my first term, we achieved one of the most groundbreaking peace agreements in generations, the Abraham Accords. And now we're going to build on that foundation to create a more peaceful and prosperous future for the entire region.
He also made a passing remark about regional instability.
A lot of things are happening in the Middle East. People have been talking about that so much lately with everything going on with Ukraine and Russia. But a lot of things are happening in the Middle East. It's a rough neighborhood, actually.
Beyond that, the only other reference to Middle Eastern affairs was his request for lawmakers to fund a Golden Dome missile defense shield for the U.S., which he noted was modeled after Israel's system. Many Israeli leaders had hoped Trump would use this platform to announce America's support for Israeli sovereignty over Judea and Samaria, especially after he hinted at an upcoming policy stance on the matter just 4 weeks ago. So, Shosh, I attended an event at the Friends of Zion Museum here in Jerusalem yesterday with a number of key Christian leaders who had come in from the United States, people like Reverend Tony Perkins and Ralph Reed, all of whom were touting this idea of sovereignty over Judea and Samaria in the aftermath of October 7th. However, as I mentioned, that was notably absent from Trump's address. In addition, there were key leaders here in Israel who were believing that Trump would make some new sweeping statement against Hamas, condemn the terrorist organization that is refusing to accept the U.S. Ceasefire for hostage agreement that Steve Witkoff has put forward, but again, no mention in Trump's address.